and welcome to another episode of I Demand a Homestead. My name is Amanda, and today it's a beautiful fall day here in Ontario, Southern Ontario in Canada, and fall is the season when I start to think about foraging. And foraging basically means that you're out there looking for kind of wild plants that are edible, okay? Foraging has become more popular since the pandemic. I think people were kind of looking for activities that they could do outside, and that's one of the things that people have really started to get into. What I might suggest is you guys start thinking about, if you can, looking for things in the city, or if you're able to kind of get out there and take a nice country drive, that can be a great place to find some edible plants and trees, okay, especially at this time of year. So what we're going to do is we're just going to head down my country road here and see what we can find. Now, obviously, if you're foraging along a country lane and you see something, you're going to need to ask the person who lives there for permission to collect whatever it is you're looking to collect, okay? But if you find things like wild apples or whatever, a lot of times people don't want them and they'll be more than happy to have you come and take them away. All right, so let's go take a look at what we can find. All right, so here is my street. Okay, and this is kind of a typical country street where you've got kind of some untamed areas right against the side of the road. Okay, so first of all, what I see right away is this big giant oak tree. Okay, and this is a bur oak, a white oak. We're going to come on over here and have a look. We can see that there's some beautiful acorns there, and the ground is just littered with them, okay? And acorns are a beautiful thing to forage. And luckily for me, this is right across the street from me, and I've already talked to the woman who lives here, and she's happy for me to take as many as I want, okay? So we're going to have a separate episode on exactly how to process these acorns, but this is definitely, even if you live in the city, an oak tree, very, very common, and you may well be able to find this wherever, and acorns are a beautiful food to collect in the fall. All right, here is another kind of unassuming little spot, but let me show you what we've got here. And I zoom in for you. We can see that this is a crabapple tree, just loaded with crab apples, which make a brilliant jelly or jam. And in front of that is an apple tree. I back out a little bit here. Right kind of beside it is an old-fashioned heritage apple tree. Super tall, but covered also in apples. So the thing about country roads and country properties is a lot of times people who lived here, 20, 30 years ago or longer would have planted apple trees on their properties. And a lot of those have been forgotten about, and you can come and pick the apples. And although they're not sprayed and they may have holes in them, they're still really good for applesauce and apple butter. Really, really great for that. Other thing that's right in the same spot are wild grapes, okay? And as always, whenever you're going foraging, make sure you know what the tree or the plant is that you're picking. Make sure that it's not poisonous, right? There are obviously berries that are lookalikes, but these are wild grapes. They can be made into wine. They can be made into grape jelly. Lots of options for these. And this tree also is loaded with them. Lots and lots. And right here, we have a butternut tree. That's what these nuts look like, okay? You can gather these up too. Lastly, right at the end of my street is this big, giant black walnut tree, okay? And black walnuts are these kind of like ball size green nuts, super, super hard, kind of difficult to actually kind of break apart, but the flavor is excellent if you're willing to do the work for them. So in addition to nuts and fruit, which is kind of a very popular thing to go looking for in fall, the other thing you can think about is roots, okay? Specifically here, what I'm looking at is some burdock, okay? And burdock has a very kind of nice colored white taproot, which is great in stir fries, steamed, very, very popular vegetable in Japan, okay? So this is a good time to kind of dig up these roots because they're storing all their energy to survive the winter down in their roots, okay? So these would be a good one to dig up now. The other thing that you can think about is the humble dandelion, all right? Now dandelions are pretty bitter, their roots. They also have a taproot, but they make a really nice roasted coffee substitute. They also make a really nice herbal bitter. If you're trying to kind of make your own cocktails, they make a really good tonic or a tea as well. So those are just a few of the things that we can be foraging for around my area. Wherever you are, just look up kind of what fruits and nut trees are available, what kinds of other plants you have, and think about that as an activity that you might like to do. But as I said, always make sure that you know what plant you're harvesting and that you've asked for permission if you're on someone else's property, okay? Super important. Okay. The other thing that a lot of people think about for fall foraging is mushrooms. I'm not going to talk about that because I just don't have enough skills to identify, other than like a puffball mushroom, I don't have the skills to identify edible mushrooms, and so I don't usually go there at all. All right, if you are going to go mushroom hunting, make sure you bring on a knowledgeable guide with you, and that is another super fun activity. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode and get out there foraging. If you liked it, please feel free to press the subscription button as well as the notification bell, and we'll see you again soon. And my next episode is going to be on harvesting and processing those acorns, so stay tuned for that one. All right, bye-bye.